Hey Raiders fans, we are back with another exclusive video, bringing you the latest updates, insights, and everything you need to know about our beloved Las Vegas Raiders. Before we jump into the content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button so you can stay up to date with breaking news, exclusive content, and all the excitement surrounding the silver and black. Trust me, you won't want to miss a single moment this season because we've got a lot of action, analysis, and insider perspectives coming your way. From the preseason to the regular season, from ticket giveaways to live watch parties, this is your home for all things Raiders. Now, let's talk about what's going on with the team. Pete Carroll recently mentioned that he expects all the starters to be ready to go, which is huge news as we head into the preseason games. Knowing which players will take the field and how the coaching staff is approaching these games is critical for understanding how the roster will shape up heading into the regular season. I want to go position by position and give you a detailed look at what you should be watching for from the Raiders sideline. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications because we will be going live for the Raiders versus 49ers game, starting 2 hours before kickoff. This is your chance to catch all the pregame analysis, watch parties, and insider commentary in real time. Shout out to my guy Blaine Craig for hooking up the fans with not one, but 2 Raiders versus 49ers preseason tickets valued at about $175 each. We gave these away during our Thursday happy hour show, and if you missed it, let me tell you, you missed one incredible event. And that's not all. During this upcoming preseason watch party on Saturday, we'll also be giving away a Raiders Monday Night Football ticket for the game against the Los Angeles Chargers. This is a great way for fans to engage, get involved, and experience the team live. I was also told by a friend who had dinner with Mark Davis, John SPYC, and Pete Carroll that Mark Davis himself will be watching this live show. I don't know exactly when or at what point, but knowing that the owner of the Raiders will be tuning in makes this even more special. I want to show Mark how we do things here, how passionate the Raiders Nation is, and I want to take that energy into Allegiant Stadium so fans can pull up, get rowdy, and show their support live. Now, let's get into the details of what we need to watch for in the Raiders versus 49ers game. First and foremost, the quarterback position always draws a lot of attention during the preseason. Geno Smith, Aiden O'Connell, and Cam Miller will all see playing time, and this is critical to understanding the team's direction moving forward. Last week against Seattle, Geno Smith looked sharp in his first drive, making 3 crisp throws, although some opportunities were dropped by Dante Thornton and Jacoby Myers. Watching how the first-team offense operates under Chip Kelly and Geno Smith will be telling. Aiden O'Connell also needs to improve, and I know this might be an unpopular opinion, but I want to see him continue to grow as the second option while Cam Miller develops in the third spot. The preseason is all about evaluation, and seeing whether Cam Miller outshines O'Connell again could spark debates about who might be the better quarterback in the future. Both need to demonstrate their skills, their decision-making, and their ability to lead the offense consistently. Moving to the running back room, Ashton Gentry didn't have a huge impact last week against Seattle, gaining only 4 yards of the first-team offense, and the backups had limited success as well. However, in joint practices against the 49ers, Gentry looked explosive, producing multiple solid runs, including one notable run for about 20 yards that showcased his speed and vision. It will be interesting to see how the Raiders incorporate him in the passing game, because if he's going to live up to the expectations of being a top 5 talent at his position, he needs to be a versatile weapon capable of both rushing and receiving effectively. Zamir White has also been getting positive attention, with Pete Carroll noting his strong performance and potential to contribute alongside Raheem Mostert. Meanwhile, Sincere McCormick, Dylan Lowe, and Collier are all fighting for roster spots. And while their rushing stats matter to some extent, their ability to pass protect and contribute on special teams is crucial for making the team. Preseason performance isn't just about scoring yards. It's about proving versatility, reliability, and readiness to step in when needed. Wide receivers are always exciting to watch, and the Raiders have a mix of established starters and promising depth players. The top 3 receivers appear to be Dante Thornton Jr., Trey Tucker, and Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers, while primarily a slot receiver, functions as the team's number one target and a key piece in the offense. Watching the number two receivers like Jack B., Colin Johnson, and Alex Bachman is important because these players are competing to secure roster spots and show how they fit into the offensive system. Bachman, a second-round pick, seems likely to make the squad, while Colin Johnson might be edged out depending on performance. Other players like Tommy Mallow, Bill Lip-Dorsett, and Shedrick Jackson may primarily be practice squad candidates, but their contributions in preseason games can make or break their chances. Ultimately, preseason football is about evaluating depth, seeing how players respond under pressure, and understanding how the coaching staff will deploy them in the regular season. The tight end room has a few standout names as well, including Brock Powers and Michael Mayer. Brock Powers, in particular, is an exciting player who excels in multiple facets of the game, and his skill set makes him a player everyone should watch closely. Meanwhile, the battle for the third tight end spot involves Ian Thomas and Albert O, and their performance in preseason will determine who earns a roster spot. The Raiders may also consider hybrid players who can contribute as both tight ends and wide receivers, such as Justin Shorter and Ishmael, depending on how the team wants to structure its depth chart. Carter Runin and others may primarily compete for practice squad positions, but their reps against the 49ers will be essential for evaluation. Finally, the offensive line, arguably the least glamorous but most critical unit, is a major storyline heading into the preseason. The performance of the starting five will likely determine whether the Raiders can operate as a top 10 offense or struggle under pressure. Key names like JPJ, Jordan Meredith, Charles Grant, Caleb Rogers, and Dare Munford are all under the microscope. Munford, in particular, has faced challenges at tackle, and there are debates over whether he should be kept based on his abilities at guard versus tackle. Dalton Wagner may also factor into the rotation, and these battles are crucial because a strong offensive line is the foundation for both the running and passing game. The preseason gives the team a chance to assess player growth, identify weaknesses, and decide who deserves to start, who should develop further, and who may be best suited for a backup role or practice squad. The defensive tackle position is arguably the Raiders' most pressing need. The ability to generate pressure with four down linemen is essential for avoiding long seasons plagued by defensive struggles. Thomas Booker and Adam Butler are key players to watch, and any contributions from Lecky Fu, assuming he returns from injury, could provide a boost. Tyree Wilson, if he earns starting reps at defensive tackle, could significantly strengthen the interior rotation. Meanwhile, young players in UDFAs like Jaw Joyner, Jafari Harvey, and Andre Carter offer potential upside and depth, especially as rotational players. Preseason allows these players to showcase their skills, adjust to NFL speed, and make a case for a roster spot. Overall, as we prepare for the Raiders versus 49ers preseason game, the main question becomes how many quarters the starters should play. Pete Carroll has indicated that starters are expected to participate, but for evaluation purposes, limiting their reps to one quarter or even just a few drives might be sufficient. This approach allows coaches and fans to see how the team operates while minimizing injury risk and giving depth players a chance to prove themselves. Watching 3 drives for the starters may provide enough insight into the offense and defense while keeping key players healthy and ready for the regular season. Linebackers are another critical piece, with a starting trio of Jermaine Pratt, Alanon Roberts, and Devin White under close observation. Their performance impacts both run defense and pass coverage, and seeing how they coordinate with the defensive line will be crucial. Depth at linebacker and the development of rotational players also factor into the overall defensive strategy, ensuring that the Raiders can handle multiple situations and maintain consistency throughout games. As we move from the front 7 into the secondary, the spotlight shifts to the cornerbacks and safeties, positions that are often the difference between a good defense and an elite one. Trayvon Mullen continues to be the cornerstone of the cornerback group, and his preseason reps are critical for setting the tone for the rest of the unit. Mullen has been working tirelessly in practice to refine his technique, particularly in press coverage and tackling, because the Raiders want to build a secondary capable of handling high-powered passing attacks. Alongside him, Casey Hayward has been dealing with some minor injuries, but remains a crucial veteran presence. The combination of experience and youth gives the Raiders flexibility in their coverage schemes, but also means every preseason snap is a chance to evaluate durability and decision-making under pressure. Young players like Tyler Vaughns and Anthony Brown are in the mix to challenge for the nickel and dime roles, and how they perform against the 49ers wide receivers will be a litmus test for their readiness. These matchups are not just numbers on a stat sheet. They reveal who can anticipate routes, who can react under pressure, and who can make the sort of plays that swing momentum in critical situations. Safety is another area of scrutiny. The Raiders have invested in talent, but the secondary's success ultimately depends on chemistry and communication. Trayvon Moehrig, entering his prime, anchors the position with his ability to read offenses and make plays both in coverage and near the line of scrimmage. His understanding of offensive tendencies and timing in zone schemes is a major asset. Michael Davis, meanwhile, complements Moehrig by playing a more physical role in the box while still being able to cover effectively. The development of younger safeties, like Dalen Hayes and Tyree Davis, could determine how deep the Raiders' rotation is, which is essential for late-season durability. Preseason games provide a controlled environment to test these players' instincts against live competition without the same stakes as the regular season, making their performance here a key barometer for the coaching staff. Special teams are often the overlooked component, but in the NFL, they can be the deciding factor in close games. The Raiders' kicker and punter situation has been stable with Daniel Carlson and A.J. Cole, but coverage units, returners, and blockers all have to perform at peak levels. Watching how the younger wide receivers, running backs, and defensive backs contribute in kick and punt returns gives insight into versatility and athleticism, while also providing opportunities for these players to make a name for themselves. A single big return or a clutch coverage play in the preseason can turn a fringe roster candidate into a must-have player. Coaches pay attention to these moments because they often reveal who thrives under pressure, who has situational awareness, and who possesses the kind of instincts that can't be taught in practice alone. Now, let's shift the focus to the quarterback room, where Geno Smith, Aiden O'Connell, and Cam Miller will all see critical reps during this game. The performance of these quarterbacks not only shapes the immediate depth chart, but also influences the long-term trajectory of the team. Geno Smith has the advantage of experience, and his role as the presumed starter gives him the responsibility of leading the offense while also setting an example for the younger quarterbacks. His ability to read defenses, make adjustments at the line of scrimmage, and deliver accurate throws under pressure will be under intense scrutiny. Aiden O'Connell, on the other hand, needs to continue developing his timing with receivers, improve his pocket presence, and demonstrate that he can manage a full drive without errors. Cam Miller, the least experienced of the three, will be evaluated on poise, decision-making, and adaptability. The coaching staff will likely rotate these quarterbacks in a way that maximizes learning while also protecting them from unnecessary hits. Watching how they respond to different defensive looks, blitz packages, and pressure situations is essential for predicting how they might perform when the regular season begins. Turning our attention back to the running backs, the battle for carries is equally compelling. Raheem Mostert remains the lead back, but the competition behind him is fierce. Ashton Gentry has shown flashes of brilliance, and his combination of speed, vision, and pass-catching ability makes him a candidate for an expanded role. Zamir White's physicality and versatility also give the Raiders options in short yardage and passing situations. Meanwhile, the developmental players like Sincere McCormick and Dylan Lowy are all fighting to earn a spot on the 53-man roster or at least a practice squad position. Preseason carries and touches will be scrutinized, not just for yardage, but for how these players block, follow their pads, and understand the offensive scheme. Coaches want backs who can handle the grind of the NFL, contribute in multiple ways, and stay healthy over a 17-game season. Wide receivers remain one of the most fascinating storylines. Dante Thornton Jr. has emerged as a standout talent, showing both the ability to stretch against the 49ers secondary will be especially telling, as it pits young talent against established NFL defenders, providing a clear measure of readiness. Under the shimmering yet tense backdrop of the NFL offseason, whispers have begun to swirl around what could be the most shocking move in recent football memory. Nick Boza, the defensive cornerstone of the San Francisco 49ers, allegedly walking away from the team that drafted him and inking a lucrative deal with none other than the Las Vegas Raiders. While no official press release has been issued, league insiders claim the paperwork is already being finalized behind closed doors, setting the stage for a seismic shift in the balance of power across the AFC and NFC. The rumor, if proven true, paints a vivid picture of behind-the-scenes discord, with unnamed sources pointing to simmering tensions over contract incentives, creative differences with the defensive coaching staff, and even subtle locker room politics that have quietly eroded the once solid relationship between Boza and the 49ers leadership. Fans have taken to social media in droves, some expressing disbelief and others anger, with many demanding answers from the front office. Meanwhile, in Las Vegas, the excitement is palpable. Whispers from around Allegiant Stadium suggest the Raiders' brass views Boza as the missing puzzle piece to transform their defense into an elite, game-changing force capable of shutting down any offense in the league. If these reports bear any truth, the implications for both franchises are monumental. The 49ers, long known for their disciplined, defense-first approach, could find themselves scrambling to fill a void that is not just statistical but emotional. Boza's presence on the field has been more than just sacks and tackles. It has been about setting the tone, inspiring teammates, and intimidating opponents before the ball is even snapped. Losing a player of his caliber would force San Francisco to rethink its defensive identity, perhaps leaning more heavily on younger and proven talent or pivoting toward a more offense-driven strategy. On the flip side, the Raiders, who have spent years struggling to build a consistent pass rush, could suddenly boast one of the most feared defensive lines in the NFL, especially if Boza pairs effectively with Max Crosby. The idea of these two relentless pass rushers collapsing pockets in unison has already sparked both fear in rival quarterbacks and excitement in Raiders Nation. Yet, with no formal confirmation, this remains a tantalizing what-if scenario, a storyline as captivating as it is destabilizing, keeping both fan bases in a state of restless anticipation for the next headline to drop. Around league circles, speculation runs rampant regarding the motivations behind such a dramatic shift. Could it be purely about money, with the Raiders offering a record-breaking contract that simply eclipsed what the 49ers were willing to pay? Or is this a deeper matter of respect and role, with Boza perhaps feeling undervalued or constrained within San Francisco's defensive schemes? Sources close to the situation have hinted at growing frustration over how his snap counts were managed, suggesting he wanted more freedom to roam across the line and disrupt plays at will. Meanwhile, others point to personal considerations, Las Vegas' proximity to certain business ventures and personal relationships that could have made the move as much about lifestyle as it is about football. For the Raiders, securing Boza would be more than just a strategic coup. It would be a statement to the rest of the NFL that they are no longer content with incremental progress, but are gunning for immediate contention. For the 49ers, the optics would be brutal, losing their most iconic defensive player to a conference rival, one that thrives on making splashy, headline-grabbing acquisitions. Such a scenario would leave front office executives grappling with difficult questions about loyalty, negotiation strategy, and the cost of keeping superstars happy. The fan reactions to this unfolding drama have been nothing short of explosive. In San Francisco, talk radio is ablaze with callers voicing outrage, disbelief, and even betrayal, framing Boza's rumored departure as an act of disloyalty to the team and the community that embraced him since his rookie year. Season ticket holders have reportedly flooded the 49ers' offices with demands for transparency, with some threatening to cancel renewals if the trade, or, as some frame it, the walkout, becomes official. Across the desert, however, Raiders supporters are in a celebratory mood, flooding social media with photoshopped images of Boza in silver and black, and even planning unofficial welcome rallies outside Allegiant Stadium. The stark contrast between heartbreak in the Bay Area and euphoria in Las Vegas underscores the polarizing nature of the move, amplifying its impact on the league's emotional landscape. National sports shows have seized upon the story, dedicating entire segments to dissecting the potential fallout, comparing it to other infamous player moves in NFL history. Whether it's viewed as a betrayal, a bold career pivot, or simply the latest twist in a league built on unpredictability, the rumor has achieved one thing beyond doubt. It has commanded the full attention of the football world. Until an official announcement is made, this saga remains suspended in the space between reality and speculation, yet its ripples are already being felt. The timing of such a move, deep into the offseason, yet before training camps fully ramp up, suggests strategic intent, possibly giving the Raiders ample time to integrate Boza into their defensive playbook while leaving the 49ers with limited options in free agency. Analysts have begun mapping out scenarios for both teams, predicting how the addition or loss of Boza could influence playoff races, division standings, and even Super Bowl odds. For Boza himself, the rumored transition could mark the most defining chapter of his career, positioning him either as a hero in silver and black or a villain in the eyes of his former supporters. In a league where loyalty is often tested by opportunity, and where fortunes can change with a single signature, this developing story is a potent reminder of how thin the line between legend and controversy can be. Whether it concludes with a press conference unveiling Boza as the newest Raider or with a vehement denial from all parties, the anticipation has already created a storyline worthy of the front page, the kind that fuels debates in bars, offices, and living rooms across the country. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.